Okay, let's talk about Subaru. Now, I've never actually owned a Subaru, but I've done a lot of research. I was looking for one to buy, and I like Subarus. I like the whole idea of a Subaru, an all-wheel drive car. Um, the only thing is there's been some things about them that have concerned me as far as the repair records on them. A lot of those newer Subarus, like the mid '90s on up, have it's an EJ series engine in it. It's still a flat four-cylinder, but they have had numerous problems with head gasket leaking, and some of them leak to the outside, some of them leak to the inside. And anytime you have coolant leaking to the inside, when coolant gets in your oil, it tends to eat your bearings up. So if you have an engine that had an internal coolant leak and they fixed it, that's all it is, fix it, and just change the oil in it, then you don't know what kind of shape the bottom end is in. And I'm wary of that. And then if you have an external coolant leak, usually what happens with 90% of the drivers these days, they don't pay attention to the coolant bottle. They don't pay attention to anything until they see the gauge start going up. And then they start looking and say, well, wow, I'm out of coolant. So it may have been overheated. You don't know. So the older Subarus on down from the mid '90s, I think had the you guys know this well. I think it was the EA22 engine, and that seems like that one's a lot more bulletproof than the later ones. Now, any engine can be bulletproof. You do enough work to it, you want to put the money into it. But Subaru seemed like a tough car, and I'd probably have one. I'd probably recommend you buy one if you know for a fact that that it's not having a head gasket problem, or if it did, it's been fixed and it's been driven thousands of miles since it's been fixed. If I saw one for sale and it said Subaru for sale, just replace head gaskets or just replaced heads or something like that, I'd be kind of I'd be wary of that, because I think, yeah, they're trying to dump it. So in fact, I'd be okay. I think if it was cheap enough, if you're capable of doing the work on it, I'd be more okay with buying one that I saw had a slight external coolant leak and I knew about it and I knew what was going on, than one that had been already messed with. So I would say Subaru, yeah, possibly. An older Subaru that, and here's the thing, people, as time goes on and cars age, people don't want to drive them anymore. They just, now that's not everybody, but I don't mind it, but people want a mental reward when they buy a car. They want something that looks good and is nice and blah blah blah. So you're not going to find many people that'll buy an older Subaru, but an older Subaru, I'd probably give it a thumbs up. So, and one thing about a Subaru also that I've seen that's troubling is these newer WRX, STI, stuff like that. The turbo model, and that promises to be a real fun car. But the problem I've seen, though, the thing that makes me skeptical about those cars, is I've seen numerous videos and people writing in forums about the things blowing up, like throwing a rod or having a rod knock and them not being that old, not even being driven that hard. So I don't know about those things. That looks to me like the bottom end is not too tough on them, but that's just secondhand information. So you need to do your own research on that and see what you think. So that's just my thoughts on Subaru.